Hello everyone, I'm Bella. Thank you for joining me for another frog food. Today we're going to be drawing eyes. I'm going to go through a breakdown of the shapes and how to think about it, and then we're going to draw one together. If you want to see more of my art, you can follow me on Instagram at Bella of My Froggy Stuff. We're almost at 10K. So hurry it up, guys. I just, no pressure, but you know. Okay, let's get started. And for those of you who want to know, I use an iPad Pro with an Apple Pencil and Procreate. And my brushes are the Snatty brush pack from ArtStation. ArtStation is like $2.99, and I actually am using some Procreate brushes today. The first eye we're going to look at is the side profile eye. The general shape for this is literally just a pizza slice sort of triangle. You can use this for like a harder look or a softer look. It's going to be a triangle either way. When I do the pupils, I put them on the rim of the eye because this is how it actually is in real life. If you look at like an actual side profile of a real eye, the pupil are like in the back. So, but some people don't do this. Some people like to put it around the rim, like the other edge, closer, because it like would, I think, intuitively just makes more sense. But whatever floats your boat. When I draw a side profile eye, the main things I try to focus on are the eye bags, or those aren't eye bags, the eye bags, the eyelids, and the eyelashes. I feel like you can or cannot add like this pink part right here. That's like that weird gland thing that separates your eye from your eyelid. You can or cannot put that in there. I don't think it like matters too much, but I feel like the eyelashes add so much character. If you have like super long ones, then maybe this character is like super glamorous and, you know, super like out there like that. Or if you have shorter ones, then obviously the character may not care as much. You know, you can show maturity as well, or age, through your eyelashes. And eye bags and eyelids, I feel like just make the eye more interesting to emphasize them. So yeah, those are the things I'm trying to focus on. Quick line art tip: when I'm trying to do a more like sketch sort of style, I make sure to make my brush like smaller so I get more lines in. But then if you want to do something a little more professional for like stickers or t-shirts or something, and you want seamless line art, then you might want your brush to react a little more to like pressure, so you don't have to go over it a million times. And my you know, solution to this, the way I get the different like dynamic, is with your brushes streamline and sensitivity to pressure, with like, as in like size, not necessarily opacity, but with size. Streamline essentially just makes it so that if you're drawing like a squiggly line, it'll kind of lag so that it's not as like direct on the paper. You know what I mean? But if you turn the streamline down, then it's gonna seem more like a straight up pencil. The way that what you draw is exactly what you get. So that helps for like sketching. But then turning the streamline up helps if you maybe want to make a curve and you don't have the steadiest hand. Streamline will help you. And the other thing is the brush's behavior to pressure. So you're going to want to go to Apple Pencil and pressure and toggle the size. Meaning if you put more pressure down, the size will increase, and less pressure, the size will decrease. And that's kind of, by messing with those two properties, I essentially can make a pencil-like brush, and then Apple Pencil, like really good for line art sort of brush. Now we're going to talk about the front profile eye. This is essentially an oval within an oval, or an ellipse within an ellipse, whatever you want to call a circle, fancy circle. I make my eyelashes very thick around the rim of the eye. You can do this if you want, you can not do this if you want. I think that if you want to make your eyelashes like thinner, but then like the ones that stem off longer, you might have a little more mature, glamorous looking character. But when I draw Toya and Bella, I want them to look really cute, not necessarily like mature and glamorous. So I do make the eyelashes a little shorter. But unlike the side profile, where the general shape is this triangle, the circleness of the front profile eye, I think, is only really for a soft look. If we're gonna go for a more hard, smoldering look, then the sort of parallelogram shape that this is what I would go for. Think about like Light Yagami or Levi Ackerman. That's gonna be your cut eyes, smoldering eyes. Gojo, that's what we're gonna go for. But then if you're gonna do like Midoriya or Armin or Sailor Moon, the bright openness, like that innocent look is what I'm gonna go for then. Which that comes from circles, and, you know, yeah. Now when it comes to the line art, when I'm sketching, I'll do a lot more than if I'm preparing to like shade. Shading is such a pain in and of itself that I make my line art like way less complicated, way more straightforward. And I won't like draw the highlights, you know, like so here I drew that highlight out, and there were like right here I did. I won't really do that if I'm doing preparing to sketch, because that's like something I do on top of it. If I do that and then I want to do shading on top of it, then I'll have to erase it, and it's so much work. And yeah, so we just skip that step altogether, think about it later. Do that. That's my general rule of thumb. If I'm doing just a sketch or like flat colors, like in here, my line art's more complicated. But if I'm preparing to shade or do like complicated lighting or something, then I do a lot less work with my line art. So now let's talk about angles, right? Here we have a 3/4, which is basically you can see both eyes and their faces turned, but you can't see both nostrils. That's how I think about 3/4. And then this one is your face is up, and then like slightly left. And then this one is your face is down, and also slightly left. So I favor my left, obviously. But yeah, the general rule of thumb for this is like, because not everyone feels like sitting down and doing a whole bunch of studies. Some people will tell you that's what you need to do. I never ended up doing that. So what I like to go by is just tilt everything. Everything is just being tilted. Picture in your mind a circle, but then it's like going that way, you know? So then everything's gonna kind of be like shifted around. For 3/4, like specifically, you are gonna want to sort of cut off this portion of the eye a little bit, because that's your nose bridge. Like your bridge is right there, so you're not gonna see the whole eye. But it really depends on your art style and like what you're trying to go for, because some people don't even have a bridge in their art. So it really depends on who you're trying to copy that day and what you're trying to go for. Okay, so when your camera is low and your face is up, this round part here that we have like over here, that's no longer round. That is now going to be a straight line, because your cheeks, you know, are like gonna like cut that off. So, and honestly, actually, if you're drawing, so you're drawing like straight on, and then maybe you position the eyes a little more upwards, and then you make the bottom straight instead of round, that will completely change the perspective at that point. Like it will completely change it. So that's a trick. Like you don't have to do much, just make that thing straight, and then it'll look like they're looking up a little bit. And then for your camera being high and your face is down, then this is like the hardest one to do for me to figure out. I had to look at a lot of people the way they did it, because it was like such a weird. You're totally like manipulating everything, but you're just squishing it. So you're just gonna squish the shape. It was like a oval before. Now it's gonna be like a horizontal oval square thing. And yeah, you're just looking down. Eyelashes are gonna be a little longer, and I do change the position of them because, you know, different position. You know, I still make them thick, but it's all up to you. Whatever you want to do, it all depends on your art style and what you want to go for, and what type of, you know, look you like. If you like the straight out of an anime look, I really like that when it looks like that's like straight out of an anime. Like the lighting is perfect, like the stuff is super clean. Or do you like the super painterly look, where it's like looks painted and looks so artsy and weird and fluid, you know? Now let's draw together. I literally made a sheet for myself, like a step-by-step, because I be forgetting how to do my own art. But you know, that's okay. It's okay to forget, because we think about a lot of stuff all day. Sometimes you just can't remember. So, yeah. So let's start, right? I'm sketching in red because sketching in black just feels wrong to me. I don't know why. And I am looking over here because I drew an eye last night that I'm going to be copying because my brain is fried. I just had an AP test. So give me some allowance. Okay, so we're going to start off with a circle. That was awful. We're going to start with the circle, like I said, and we're going to just like feel out this eyelash shape. That's what I do first. I draw the eyelash, general shape of the eyelash before I draw everything else. use a lot of wrist movements. I never like draw with my fingers. My wrist is doing all the work. So yeah, we're gonna go through there and also get the general idea of what, probably make that bigger would help. Get the general idea of what the iris is gonna be, or where it's gonna be. Now, depending on your expression, you might want to make the iris, or is that called the iris? I don't know. You might want to make it smaller because we're like surprised, or not smaller, or whatever. It depends on what you're into. And then we're gonna go in and make it thicker to get a better idea of what we're doing here. I just go in straight up and just color it in, and just keep doing that until it looks right. To be honest, I'm so bad at explaining stuff. But yeah, we're gonna go and we're gonna take that over there because I like it when it hangs a little, not like, you know, comes to a point right here. It just looks cool. Make it thicker around there, and we're all gonna. You can all change it too. Like when you draw, I know some people will act like you, and I do this too. You draw something and you feel like it's set in stone. There's a thing called an eraser. Use it. I know we forget there's an undo button, but use the eraser. It helps a lot. If you feel like you just want to change something, or maybe something isn't working, you can just erase it away. And there's no like marks. You know when you use pencil and you erase something and it's like you can see where it was before, like a ghost? Nope, that doesn't happen here. And then, now that we got this going on, we're just gonna go over that eyeball thing. Is it called an iris? Someone who knows about anatomy, tell me, because I probably look like an idiot right now, not know what it's called. But yeah, and then we're gonna do the circle thing there. Done. Also, another trick, there's this tool up here, I don't know what it's called, but I think it's called a lasso sometimes. But you can literally just like circle that and then go to freeform and you can just mess with it. Make it smaller, make it longer, do whatever you want. I did it kind of well this time, so I'm not gonna have to really manipulate it much. But yeah, if you ever need help just like messing with stuff, use your tools. Use your tools, they're for a reason. It's not cheating, it's using your resources. So now that I got this figured out, I'm gonna add my eyelashes. So I start here. They're pretty much just triangles, but like fancy triangles. Like half of star. Like, you know, like that star shape? We'll cut that in half, and that's your eyelash. But that's, I did it in line art, so you don't really have to think about that right now. And so, yeah, like little, I don't remember, it reminds me of like a crocodile. I don't know why, but that's where my brain went when I drew this. And we're gonna add one right here. So we're covering, oh, that looks bad. We're gonna cover the general expanse of the eye with these eyelashes. Get a nice, like, yeah, looks good. Yep. Make sure they're spaced out nicely. You can make them longer if you want, like this. I used to make mine pretty long if you want, but today, to keep it simple, we're just gonna keep them pretty short. And this just in, it is called the iris. The colored part here, that's your iris. This black part, pupil, and then I think that's all we retained from that chart. But yes, so less finishing touches for this rough sketch is going to be your eye bags and your eyelid. Do you even need anything else? This is like the best part of the entire eye, if we're being completely honest. And I didn't make it very round to the bone, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, some people like to put their eyelids like right on top. Some people like to only put it right here. It depends on what you're into that day, how you're feeling, how lazy you are, how much work you want to do. All these are factors that go into the complication of your work. Yeah, that's our rough sketch. And now we're going to do line arts. Now is everybody's favorite part, line art. I think I said that in the last clip. But, you know, start a new layer, turn the opacity of the last layer down. It depends what you're into, but I do like, I don't know, 35%, 35, 34, I don't know. Layer 2, we're gonna get our black, and we're gonna go to inking, gel pen. Let's do gel pen regular. I think I messed with it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's just like the pressure. I toggled with the pressure and I messed with the streamline, which I talked about earlier, so I don't need to go over that again. But yeah, when I start off with this line art, I outline my eyelashes before filling them in. Streamline is off on this. Let's fix that. Okay. Much better. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this real fast. Let me just, you know what? We're just gonna do the entire curve there. That should be good. And then we're gonna do the other curve separately and not think about it. Because what's the point of digital art if you can't just do it quicker? You know? Always use your shortcuts. And then we're gonna erase this here. And I might have to go in and change that up. Okay. So, eyelashes, like I said before, we're gonna like swoop that. There we go. And then smaller version of the last thing. Swoop, more swooping. There we are. And then a longer swoop. Yep. I usually like, if you ever watch the speed paints, it's like a flickering. We should put like an epilepsy warning. It's like a flickering back and forth. That's me going back and forth between the rough sketch and the line art. Because I don't know if this, you know, it probably does do this. No, it doesn't. I don't know. Cause like if you use like Clip Studio Paint, then you can get like the final product. You can look at like one layer at a time and like a little box on your screen. But I'm not sure if Procreate does that, but it probably does. So if anyone knows anything about that, or even understands what I'm saying right now, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn, because I have no idea. And then here, on the picture example I did last night, I made it like a triangle. So we're gonna try and do that again. Yep, that should work, right? That looks okay. We're gonna go with it. We're gonna see what happens. Yep, and we're gonna do that. You know what? If it doesn't work, we'll just erase it, and then we'll never talk about it again. Because that's how it works. Like, you guys don't see like how I do things like a zillion times before I decide to put it on Instagram. But and then you never know. That was like the 5th time I did that entire sketch, or like the 6th color palette I went through. Even though you guys do see that in these speed paints, because like I literally will go through 6 color palettes. This thumbnail I did everything in like a normal like colors, like normal colors. Like I didn't like do anything super special, and then I just threw an overlay on it, and then like skin tone's perfect. Use your brain. Work smarter, not harder. Okay, I think that was like relatively okay. So yeah, we're gonna like fill this in now. The smart thing to do would be to do it all in like one, like make it all a connected shape, like a whole shape, and then you just have to drag and drop, like I'm gonna do here. That drag and drop, so you can just like fill it in automatically. But since we have these bits, or since I have these bits here that like aren't filled in all the way, I have to manually color. Manually coloring now. It's funny how the things you complain about once you start digital art, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to actually color this physically, moving my hand. The computer doesn't do it for me. Yep. I remember I was explaining to my grandparents like facial recognition, and they were like, what's the point? You just open your phone. And I was like, yeah, but your phone can open itself for you. Why would you not? Yep. Is that laziness or proficiency? Or both? Who knows? I'm not gonna think about it too hard. And this is gonna take a minute, so we're gonna speed this up so I can finish coloring this in. Okay, that was the most time-consuming part of this whole process, I think. Now it's pretty easy from here on out. My layout is like weird. It was like blending in. Never mind. Yeah, we're just gonna. Oh, the eraser. That wasn't a brush. Okay, we're gonna do this. Make that a little bit smaller. I'm just gonna have it auto shape it. I don't know what it's actually called, but it's gonna do the shape for me. We're on a time crunch. So yeah, and then oh yeah, so how to do the auto shape thing? You just make a shape and you hold it and you wait for it to turn the shape you meant to draw into the actual shape it's supposed to be, and then you can mess with it with these little blue things. I can make it like whatever I actually wanted it to be or whatever. You can make it go up a little more. Okay, that was good. Check. Well, you know what? Let's see. I don't know what that was. Maybe I might have to make this a little flatter on top. Yeah, I think so. And then I'm gonna do the middle part here. Nope. Middle part. I'm gonna space that out, make it black. You know what's funny? I used to, like, even used to like a day ago, actually fill all this in, but since I had to figure out how to do it like faster for this video, I just found out this way to make it like so much faster. Okay, and then I'm gonna use gel pen 1. Gel pen 1 is basically just the same as gel pen. I made this brush, so I might do a thingy on that later. It's basically still gel pen. It's just like the opacity is lower. And opacity, I should explain that too. Opacity is like if it's like dark or not, you know, like if it's like watered down. I guess you can think about that way. Is it watered down or not? And if it's higher opacity, then it's like opaque and transparency. That's the right word. If it's high opacity, it's really opaque. If it's low opacity, then it's like really translucent, transparent, whatever, you know. Okay, and then we're gonna do eye bags. Oh no, the bottom here. Okay, we're gonna do this bottom part. I'm gonna do that here. I had little, because since we're just doing, you know, line art, I had little lines here and there to make it a bit more interesting. That is lopsided. And then we're gonna go with lasso, and then we're gonna fix this. Tilt that a little bit. That should be good. Yeah, we'll leave it. It's fine. Drawing live is always so much harder. Like, what? Why is this so difficult? Okay, and then we're gonna do that for the eye bag. And then this is the eyelid. So we're gonna, yep, eye bag, eyelid. I'm gonna make the iris larger, because see all this space down here? We don't like it. We don't like this space, which is there in the example, but like it's like also not, you know. I don't know what's happening. So I'm gonna go in here and literally just try and get as close to the eyelash as possible without, well, there it is. Okay, as close to the eyelash as possible without like destroying the eyelash and still keeping the iris. And then we're gonna go here and go to uniform, and then we're gonna make it bigger and move it over. Perfection. And yeah, just color that in there. Much better. Yeah, okay, then we're gonna do this for our highlight. I'm just gonna act like I know what is going on with that shape. There we go. See, and as soon as you add the highlights, you'll be drawing and you're gonna be, you'll be like, this looks so bad. Add highlights, everything comes together. I was so panicked 5 seconds ago. Okay, I was like, am I gonna have to refilm this? Because this looks so bad. Okay, oh, not the eraser. And I always like draw a little differently every time. I don't know why, but I do. You know, you see something on Instagram and you're just like, oh, I want to try that. So you do. And then, bam, your art style is no longer consistent. So, then we're going to add a little shiny thing here. Oh, that wasn't, okay. Hopefully you guys don't get, like, nauseous with this recording, because I'm all over the place. Yeah, and then we're going to add, since we're not coloring, I would not do this if I was coloring, but since we're not coloring, I'm going to do that, which is like where the lighter color of your eye would be. And then we have an eye. We have a front-facing, decent eye. Well, let me do this. I feel like that needs to be there. Nope, that wasn't a curve. Okay, literally screaming inside. Okay, nope, we're gonna leave it gone. Okay, yeah, that was it. And there you have it. We have drawn an eye. Just in case you're still doing it, we're gonna leave it up on the screen. But thank you for joining me for another Frog Food tutorial. If you want to know how to draw other things, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff and the Frog Vlog, and follow me on Instagram at Bella of MyFroggyStuff to see more of my arts. Now enjoy this speed paint that took me 3 days to draw for the thumbnail. Bye!
You think you'll never go down.